Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lucid. And yeah, we're back in this game with Asphodel. So I've done this turn, and I'm going to share it with you. It's a pretty interesting one. It's going to start off, as so many Dominions turns do, with some rather unfortunate news. And that is, we have our new script, our new 5.0 script for these guys, where we're trying to, do our ritual suicide. And apparently we have put enough items or have enough thog beasts or have enough HP on the field or some combination. You will notice life after death didn't go off. This guy cast group bark skin instead. So, yeah. Now, given that, this is the risk of doing this. This is why it's nice to have the artifact. That way life after death always goes off. You don't have to worry about this bullshit. So, given that, we would hope that we have not indeed solved the life after death. I don't want to kill the panic apostates now, right? Like, hopefully we haven't figured it out yet, but unfortunately we have. So I remember the first time I was watching this, it was like in horror, and I was like, oh god, oh no, it's not casting, none of the battlefield enchantments are up, please don't die, and then all of a sudden we see bog beasts start to escape, and the reason is obvious. It's because a lot of these pans died. So yeah, we're -5 panic apostates. These guys are expensive. This is like 2,000 gold down the tube in just apostates, and then we lost 7 dryads. We picked up a lot of the axes we lost, but I'm not sure we picked them all up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we probably got them all. We got 5. Rip. So that's a little unfortunate. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much, because in some ways, I don't want to say we're abusing game systems, because we're not. We're using the things that are put in the game that Illwinter fully knows about. Like, this is not a mystery to them that this exists. But we're making, and there's a trade-off for this, right? Like, it's not a straight-up win. Like, if it were to work. First of all, it's been hard to get to work, which there's some fun in kind of figuring out how to get it to work. For you, you'll be able to just copy shit I do. But I'm like, how the fuck am I going to kill these things? Anyway, I've never heard anybody doing this before, putting Axes of Hate on to do life after death. This is some new technology. So anyway, on one hand, it's kind of hard to do. On the other hand, like, if you do it, it's not even a straight win, because you're going to have a bunch of feeble-minded mute guys for a while. There's some trade-offs. It's interesting. But it still is like it's a non-obvious way to play the game, right? It's like a little abusive. It's not a bug, and it's not like true. It's not like what I would actually consider like a game-breaking abuse. But point is, I also, the same way Illwinter might know that this thing exists, I also know there are like gym bait thresholds and things, and if you have too much HP on the field, you won't use gyms, etc. I know about that, right? So when this thing doesn't trigger, it's really my fault. But the next time we do this, we are going to back up a save file. Because if I were to do this in a multiplayer game, I would get, and I think this is the way to do it. You want an actual, because there's risk involved, right? You want an actual, like, kind of bulletproof formation that you're just going to use, and you're going to get predictable outcomes. If you're like adding a ton, removing a ton, especially adding a ton, you can trip over the gym threshold and then it won't work. So there are some thoughts there. An assassin trying to get one of our commanders. We have a few battles here. Some of these are kind of epic. This one less so. This is vegan. Vegan's very angry. Would you like to become salad? Asks Vegan. All his minions reply yes. Okay, doing work. This is a big PD dump. We've by the way gotten into the area. It's kind of been becoming clear, but we're definitely in the era now where the AI is going to have 60 PD in pretty much every province. I'm glad, we were talking about it in previous episodes. I'm glad that kind of got delayed, like, it's holy shit. I'm glad it doesn't happen until later in the game now. Because early in the game, when they're dumping PD over the place, it's really annoying. Look at this. What is this? An AI army. Dear Jesus. Look at that. Led by their god of all things. The Divine Emperor. Who I thought we had killed, by the way. I guess they'd come back to liberate him. A lot of mages mixed in here and cultists. On our side, though, we have a powerful few. We have Uranotheus and Uranos. And then we have Morania, the Dryad. Don't tell her she's technically a fluffer, but yeah. The story of many versus the story of a few. Now the trick is, you can't really fight armies this big in Dominion 6 if you can't kill them all. So when the battle goes into Twilight, you'll lose buffs. And then you're probably going to die if you're super combatant. But we have Foul Vapors up. Now they have a fair amount of undead mixed in here. You'll see some ghouls around. I was told the ghouls got Corpse Eater as well now too, which is kind of cool. So I don't know how good that actually is on them. One every second month. Come in and take a closer look. 155 hit points, 157. Clearly we're tanking pretty well. There's, by the way, you'll see the lightning blasts. There's a Sky Drake or something running around here. There was, I don't see it now. Maybe it ran in and died or something. That's cool. I didn't actually know that unit was in the game. I believe one of my guys is trying to retreat. Yeah, this guy is. They don't really have perfect morale, so that is an issue for them. But nevertheless, they're pretty thick. So, yeah, our carry-on lords are laughing in the face of danger here. And Foul Vapors, slowly but surely, is killing a lot of them. Now, if you don't know what selection bias is, people that die to Soul Vortex tend to die as soon as they get in close. And then they are no longer present. And they get filled in by other things. But the battle times out. We're at round 80. They were attacking, so they time out first, and then they get retreated. I believe one of our guys already retreated off the field. The Divine Emperor, by the way, hanging in for a pretty long time. Battle Fury. And there goes Twilight. But fortunately, we'd already routed pretty much the whole army. So they lost a bunch of commanders. A few mages, not really that many. A lot of these things. Here they're Storm Drakes, not Sky Drakes. They've got Drake Lightning. Very cool. You can see lots of things. A lot of these, there's some garbage in here like indies. But there's also a lot of cool stuff they mixed in like summons. I think that's cool to have the AI do that. But it needs more mages with more gems on there. I think it's like the AI if the AI had, let's count how many mages they brought. We'll count these as mages. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. We're not going to count the priests. 18, 20. 20 mages is not actually horrible to bring with an army of 3,000. Probably should be more like 40. But I think I don't know. I'm trying to think like a good rule of thumb for the AI. Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably 4 mages for every 100, but then once you get at 1,000, that would be 4 mages for every 100 troops. If you're at 1,000, then that would be 40 mages for that. That's kind of too many. So maybe it ramps between like 4 mages for every 100, but by the time you get to 1,000, you only have 20. And by the time you get to 2,000, you have 30. 3,000, you'd have 40. I don't know. Something like... It should have more mages for an army this big. This is too few, but it's not as few as I was thinking. So, yeah, I don't know. Nevertheless, rest in peace. Unfortunately for us, there's still a ungodly number of dudes here. There's 500, there's 1,000. In terms of the army graph, they've taken a beating, but they're not down and out. So let me run through our plan for this turn. We're gonna hang tight here. We're gonna cast Woven Winter on this province, get it really cold. Should get it down to cold 4 maybe. And then we're gonna do a big conversion. I would run it again this turn and not wait, because the waiting isn't amazing, you know. Like I think I'd like to set up a test, you know, back it up, save scum one more time, make sure we have it set up right, have like a good configuration. But we don't have enough of these panic apostates here to form a full circle, like to block everybody in. Now we could shrink it, but I don't even know if we have enough for that. Let's just check. Yeah, like we'd need another one there. Okay, we're full all except for one. We might actually be able to do it. Yeah, okay, we actually could probably do it. We just need one here. And then we'd have to put this guy here. We're missing just one spot now. So we're missing one spot here. I mean, maybe that's possible. Maybe yeah, this guy can fill up that one spot. It's the one spot here. Yeah. I mean, maybe we try to do it then. Let me pull some of these bog beasts off. I'm going to pause since this is tedious. Okay, I think I've rescripted. It didn't actually take me very long. Just a couple minutes. But yeah, we've got this rescripted. I think maybe we actually do try to run it then. I was going to do a Woven Winter cast, but I think we'll skip that. And I think we'll just cast Illusory Attack here. And I just have to make sure that everybody's patrolling. So we hit patrol with these guys. Tank our research again. Keep our item inventories. Dude, I love the bigger inventory. Holy shit. It's so nice. Being able to have things organized. Feels so good. Yeah, I think this is basically set up. I am going to back this up before we hit in turn, though, because I think we're done with the turn otherwise. But yeah, we're setting up this trap again here. This army, we're moving on top of this fort. We're going to see if we can just claim forts. I'm hoping these guys come and try to take their cap back and more or less leave this thing alone. But there's a chance we'll have to come maybe move thugs and super combatants here. We are boldly standing our ground here. This could fail, and this could fail in multiple ways. We don't have like a battlefield clear. So if the battle times out, then these guys are going to die. And that's just how that is. So yeah, I don't really have a solution for that. I mean, we could move. Do I have another one of these? We could. There's a water panic apostate here. It's not a carry-on lord form, but you know, we could move him in. Probably should move this guy over here as well. But yeah, anyway, you know, things aren't perfect. Do we have... I thought one of the... Yeah, this guy's a water random. This guy could do it, but he's needed here. So who's the guy in front? This guy actually could cause a problem. Let's make sure we have everybody selected. Did I double Still some... No. Okay, this guy actually needs a different home. So I'm going to bring one of these pan apostates down here. And then we're going to put this guy back up. Basically, these guys, if they don't have magic paths, they're going to eventually run forward. And we want them at the back of the formation. So the bog beasts are a little less likely to get out. But okay, I think that's fine. We're also moving out with vegan again here. It's a little risky. But we're kind of moving in for the killing blows here against Sceleria. I don't know where all the rest of their stuff is. And I don't like exactly playing this raiding game with them. Like, this army, we're kind of making bad moves. Like, this army could get killed here if they move their whole army north. There's just a lot of... I don't love this. In fact, we probably should move these guys here. The problem is then we, like, don't guarantee we're holding retreat routes for vegan. I mean, maybe we hang tight here and have her site search. I think this is safer. These armies could kill, like, I don't... If vegan can't kill things fast enough, then the battle will time out and then he'll run. And even if he lives through, like, the running part, I have to have retreat routes secured. So attacking these provinces is pretty dangerous. This one is less so. If we were going to go for one, maybe we go for this one. Because we'll have this retreat route secured. Okay, we'll do that. 15 is kind of a lot. We might just put, like, 6 here. We'll do 7. Get that second heavy cav. Again, we're not protecting our retreat route here, so that's kind of a risk. So there's a bunch of risky things. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and hit in turn, see what happens. I'm going to save and quit and back this up. So I do want to get the life after death thing working. So I will do that and hit in turn. We'll see in a second. Okay, and we have the new turn here. We'll look at this together. I haven't looked at it yet. Let's see if this works. We want to see some battlefield enchantments going up. There's apparently a gap. Oh, no, there was a gap, but it got filled in by a bush. Okay. So the battlefield enchantments are up. This might work this time. I have a feeling we finally have figured it out. Grip of Winter's up. Our guys are freezing. They're regenning a ton, though, with Gift of Health. I mean, it did work pretty good, though. I think it worked. 10? We got 10. Oh, buddy. Did it work? Well, this is how you do it. We have finally figured it out. You can tinker with a bigger formation than this, like we'd kind of had before. The risk is, I think, that you risk not triggering gym use. But this is all we're going to stick with from now on, is save up. We need, it looks like we need at 25-ish, maybe 30 Panic Apostates, and then we'll do a round again. Running into another casual, like, 90 PD. Crossbows, nonetheless. These are pretty tough. But it's vegan. Vegan isn't too bothered. And vegan has a vine shield, too, so he, that helps a little bit against the crossbows. Vegan, by the way, at one point I think I had said he had his 4 arms. He has 3. So. Yes. All is going according to plan. Oh, they're raiding us with mercenaries. What assholes. I think those are mercenaries. I'm not sure. Oh, God. Is this Sceleria again? It is. All right, well, our brethren hold out yet again. We lost the Dryad. Bob Vapors got off. That's important. How are we doing on health? Because we have one guy paralyzed. For 23 turns, oh, that's not good. He might not have gotten off Soul Vortex. Or maybe it was Invulnerability that didn't go off. No, Invulnerability's off. This guy's not paralyzed. We're both, the important thing is we're blessed. We've got 20% regen. We're above 100 hit points. We've got Blood Vengeance. Soul Vortex is off on at least one of them, so we've got another chaff clearing method, and we've got... Looking over here, too, at the spells going off, I don't see a lot of Unholy Command, which is nice. This looks very good for us. Yes. Perfect. Didn't even go very late. It's only combat round 48 right now. Got him. All right, they're attacking us here in Muris. That's not good. That was our retreat route for our second army heading south. This is our second army headed south. Okay. Pretty good turn. Still an enormous army stationed here. You know, they hit us with a lot. They lost here about 1,200 dudes. And we're on top of this fort without a retreat route. It's not exactly ideal. Siege strength here is 1,010. Yeah, we didn't quite have enough. But the other good news is we're building up a proper army. This army that took Sceleria got beaten down so much. Let's take a look here, too. Let's look at this and see what will pull these things off of them. I'm hitting the L key, and that'll send items to the lab. You can also send them to the lab, obviously, by clicking here and then clicking on the lab. But it's a lot faster if you just hover your mouse over it and type L. But yeah, I mean, it looks like pretty much everybody that had Axe of Hate got toasted. Apparently standing in a shit ton of poison. When how many guys do we have here now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're close to having enough to do it again. Actually, we could do it again. Because I want to get like these guys, like this guy who has basically all of our carry-on lords who converted but have paths. I want to go ahead and start using them. But that's not actually a tremendous number of them. This is our Foul Vapors guy who converted too. That's nice. Anyway, we'll have these guys come over here. But we'll have these guys in conjunction with the guys who have not gotten any paths. I'm probably going to script them and we're going to do another round. Because I think we have enough bodies to block everything out. I do need to make sure we have a Foul Vapors caster. Wait, whoops, you need the death gems. So life after death. We need the Grip of Winter guy with 3 water gems. We need... I probably should make a water lens too for him. This guy we need to do Foul Vapors, just like so. We actually can do this. And he'll cast it without any extra gems, which would be nice. And yeah, I think that's it. So we'll just run this again. I'll have to re-script these. But that doesn't... Now that I've got it down, it probably only takes me like 5 minutes. So that'll be good. We'll re-script them. The army here in Sceleria, I think, is big enough to move out. All right, how many do we have here? 900? Yeah. So I think the army's going to ride again. And we're probably going to move the army with accompanying mage support, doing basically the same setup. I think we're going to move here and then loop around to this throne. And hope this army comes and fights us here again. We also want to be a little careful attacking with thugs into like a province like this, because if he's PD dumped, Oh, no. Never mind. But there are great eagles here. That'll be whether we're attacking or defending, though. Yeah, I don't know. We probably could attack into it with the super combatant, but maybe we attack into it with our army. We could send a super combatant here. Because we'll ruin this with our army now. I think that might be the play. I think we're going to move the army into this. Then we move the super combatants pair here. Notice we're not calling them thugs. And then I think we move vegan over this way. This is a pretty nice province, too. Apprehensive. Let's see if these guys want to make peace with us. So this appears to be going pretty well for us. In terms of bigger strategic goals, let's take a moment and just think about this, and then I'll pause the turn and execute. But we have a lot of gems. We have a ton of fire, so we need to figure out a way to spend that. Our god has a little bit of fire. We also have a little bit of fire on the people we get here, our adepts. Or we can. I'm not sure. We really need... We might need to alchemize, because we really need a ring of wizardry now. To make a ring of wizardry, we also need to start... And I think I teleported a guy over here. Yeah. We need to start making, like, astral boosters, because we can't just make a ring of wizardry. We're going to need crystal coin at least. Yeah, I think a crystal coin and a hat. That'll put us at 7. I forget if it's 7 or 8. It's like one of the things I should know, but I always forget. 7, okay. This one is 6. And this one we want. So, yeah, anyway, with a crystal coin and a hat, we'll be able to forge it. But we're going to have to alchemize a ton to get there. I think it's worth it. That way, it's going to really open up a lot of things. Like, we can start spending fire gems better. We can summon some flame spirits. Yeah, it's going to open up a lot. So, we'll do that. Start breaking into like higher paths of things so we can spend our gems. We've got a tremendous amount of death. We got a tremendous amount of nature. Normally as Asphodel, you would spend all your death on Twiceborn, but we're actually able to cut that out. Or not all, you'd spend a lot of it. We're able to cut a lot of that out because of this little setup we have. We're hitting Alt 8 in 2 turns. I think we go for... I mean, we could go for Well of Misery. 21 death gems increases growth worldwide by 2. Oh, Jesus Christ. Spell is broken to the... I mean, this is going to turn everything into forests. That's actually kind of a good spell for us. Okay, let's run for this. That'll be fun. We'll get Conjuration 8 next. We could get Tarts, too. Tarts would be sick with our Bless. What do we want to get? We could get... Honestly, a lot of these would be pretty cool, but... We could also go Construction 9 and pick up artifacts. That might be better. But yeah, we're getting Well of Misery. We might go for Tarts. This is probably my first time like going pretty deep. I mean, I think I've cast Gift of Nature's Bounty in an AI game before, but I have been putting a lot more attention into this game and like been trying harder. And the AI's been putting up some resistance. Like, I definitely have the feeling that if I hadn't been scripting things pretty well, we would be getting stomped. You know, like, on one hand, it doesn't feel ultra hard. Like, I feel like in control. But on the other hand, I feel like, you know, mages have been having gems and stuff, and, you know, the armies are big. I don't know. Like, I'm feeling like we're earning the win, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And it's a lot different than the feeling you get when you fight a player that's good, because there's a lot more mental kind of gymnastics you have to do to kind of come out ahead and a lot more things you're thinking about. But it's hard enough that it's still satisfying. So anyway, with that, I'll go ahead and pause and script the rest of this turn and then give you the report. Okay, so first update is I've got this all scripted now. like so. Though, wait, where's my... This guy needs to be in this group. These guys are all patrolling. Wait, you're in this group too. Did I not get everybody? I have some people double. I think that'll be fine. Anyway, we've got this rescripted. I've got commands on all the people. These guys who don't have pass, we're putting them hold. Everybody else, we're just trying to fatigue them out. So they don't cast heal or regen or anything. But yeah, so we're going to patrol here. I haven't cast this yet, but we will. We're going to cast Illusory Attack again. And yeah, so anyway, this is set up again. I probably will back up and save it just to make sure. Though this is not the sort of thing... The other thing I was going to say too at the start of this episode was that like when this thing failed, that is the sort of thing that would actually happen to me in a real game. Because like I would test it to figure out something that works, but then I would not test it again and just like assume that like, oh, I'm about it that like under the gym bait threshold. But then if I'm like accidentally adding items, that's totally the sort of thing I would do in game and not test. So anyway, we're going to at least test it one more time to make sure this is pretty reliable. Not test. We're going to save the backup at least one more time, which would correspond to me testing the exact setup in a multiplayer game like one more time. And at that point, we'll assume it's kind of reliable and just stick with exactly what we have here or very close to it. So anyway, it's fair that I lost those guys earlier because that's the same sort of mistake I would have made. And the other thing is we're coming through and we're making some more carry-on fortresses here. So I can't believe that I waited until I had a nature 4 to do this. It's like one of those things I'm so oblivious sometimes. Yeah. Not a requirement, actually. Yeah, I'm going to finish the turn here. Okay, so I've got everything scripted, I think. We're bringing Vegan over here. Hopefully he can kill this. We'll actually bring this lady with him. But yeah, we're bringing our super combatant stack here. We're bringing in a Dryad from this fort. So if this army moves into us, there's a chance that Vegan has to kind of fight by himself. But there's also a chance that this army moves into us and we have a fight with our full army plus a Vegan on top of our cap. Anyway, there's a lot of permutations the way this could go, depending on if people move into each other and who pushes who and whatnot. But yeah, anyway, I think this is a good setup. These thugs who've been hanging out here, we're going to actually have them move into this. Just because it's worth protecting a retreat route here for this army, because we haven't popped the fort. And it's good to just have a retreat route for the army, whether we pop the fort or not. But anyway, we're doing that. This army is going to hang out on top of this fort. We've scripted this again, so this is looking good. For gyms on this one, I haven't checked the gym situation out. We're actually... No, we should be able to cast Serpent's Blessing, right? Serpent's Blessing, we need 3 gems to cast. We don't have 3 gems. Oaken Army is kind of more important, but I don't want to Foul Vapors and not Serpent's Blessing. That's definitely not good. I think. Do we have anybody here who's... I mean, all our guys have poison resistance. Oh, except the Centaurs, but we don't really have that many. The guys doing Serpent's Blessing, we probably can group everybody up and just do Poison Ward instead. So I think we're going to switch to that. I'm going to put all the guys that don't have a ton of poison resistance here in the middle. Like so. And then put the Centaurs in a box formation right on top of them. So this will be a... Wait, no, these aren't Centaurs. These are Centaurs. So we're going to put these guys right here on top of them. And then hopefully a couple Poison Ward casts will get most of them. So there we go. That way this script will be fine. We probably do need to ferry a gem. Are these guys stealthy? They're not. Let me see if I can ferry some gems over here. I want to make sure we're able to get this fort. So we're going to bring our Harpy Prophet of all things over this way. She might be... there's not really much to bless here, but she can do Divine Blessing when we're storming as well. But yeah, I think this looks okay. I mean, there's also a chance let's go ahead and just put her here so I don't forget later. Let's put her in the spot where we do the Foul Vapors, or the Poison Ward casting. That way there's a little bit better chance we don't nuke our own Prophet. Not that it would be a big deal. We just get probably a different and a better one. Oh, the other thing somebody was telling me was that there's a Construction 7, which is kind of the old Construction 6. So like a mass producible +1 priest thing. But it's fire and glamour, I believe. It's the ring of the false pretender or false prophet or something. Our god can't do that. So, but that would actually be pretty nice for us. So, anyway, we'll maybe figure out a way to do that. Maybe I'll have to look through the mod inspector and see if there's any summons that can have the fire and glamour random. It's possible, especially with us planning to get the Ring of Wizardry soonish, that, we could... Oh, no, we can't. Anyway, it's possible that even if it's like a weird, unique summon or something, it's possible we could get to it, and then we'd be able to make that. And that would let us do Holy 4 things, because we can summon a Carrion Lord who's Holy 3, put that on him, get him up to Holy 4. So that would probably be something for Asphodel to think about if they could do. I mean, it's such a hard spell for us to cast. The other thing we could do is like do a Crystal Matrix setup. That's actually probably the cheaper way. We just have 2 random things we make as comm slaves with crystal gear. Or it's probably not even called crystal gear now. What is it called? Well, we can see what it's called with our god. The communion, we can do any of the communion things, actually. So, I mean, we could do a Sabbath communion, probably. Or we could do the Sky Metal. Slave Matrix or Sky Metal Matrix. So, yeah, we could do that. That probably makes more sense. That'd be 30 gems per kit, but then if we get discounts, it'd be less. Do we have an Earth random of the adepts? That is the other important thing that demands answering. Let's see. We're looking for something with paths in both Astral and Earth. I don't see anything so far. Here's one. So this guy who was auto-searching... Oh, man, I teleported him over here. I think we have to teleport him again. Yeah, we have to teleport him again back over this way. Because I think we're going to make Sky Matrices and Slave Matrices with him. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and back this up and we'll hit in turn just in case I fuck up the... We're not going to save scum probably again for the rest of the game. But if the communion or if the suicide thing fails again, I want to have a backup. Okay, so something weird just happened. I was going to like back it up like I was saying. And instead of pasting from my save game folder onto my desktop, I did it in the reverse. I pasted from my desktop onto the save. And so I lost like 2 turns. Or a turn, however long, 2 turns. But it was a fair amount of scripting. It'd probably been an hour of my time to like redo the turn, and then it wouldn't have been the same outcomes and stuff. So then I like hit Control Z to try to undo it. And somehow that like, it said, do you want to paste over it? And I was like, yes. I don't know. The net effect after that, I hit Control Z a couple times, was that it was neither on my desktop or in my folder. So I'm sorry, guys, but that is an end to the Asphodel thing. We might play again now that I understand things better and I have a better sense of kind of the flow and what's important. And I had fun playing with them. So we might have another round with Asphodel, but I think you got to see, things weren't going to change a ton. You got to see pretty much all the things we wanted to do. We put together kind of doom stacks. We managed our Dominion. We managed our temple count. We did super combatants. We finally got, I think this is the one I'm really grateful for. We really got a good life after death system set up by the end. And I think now that we know how to do it, we can set it up potentially sooner. Anyway, there's a fair number of things that we sort of figured out by the end. So I'm very thankful for that. And we know some of the things we need to prioritize a little earlier, like site searching, glamour. We also know maybe we need like fire glamour on our god to get the priest booster. That could be nice. That we can also do that with matrices potentially. So yeah, I mean, Sceleria was clearly dying. That game had already kind of gone into a way that I think it was very clear to me, at least, that we were in position 1 It was very clear to me we were going to win. So the last bit would have been kind of grinding it out, but it would have been fun. So anyway, I think we're going to call it here. Let me know in the comments if you want me to play again with Asphodel, or we can move on to a different nation. But I had a lot of fun. Maybe I'd play them in a multiplayer game at some point. That would be fun too. But yeah, let me know. Sorry for this weird and abrupt ending, but I can't manifest this save file out of nothing. It's nowhere. It's not in my recycling bin. Maybe I could do like a disk recovery thing and find out where it used to be or something. I don't know, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the series so far. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing Asphodel. Sorry about this kind of screw up here, but it is what it is, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.